Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining. My name is Gilda Hilaire. I am the Senior Product Marketing Manager at Salesforce. Today, I have the pleasure of sitting with some of my favorite marketing cloud friends. And keep in mind, we will be hosting two sessions. So we're hosting one now, which is 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time. And then our second session is 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Just a little housekeeping before we get started. If you have any questions during the presentation or / discussion, please type them into the question chat window in your GoToWebinar control panel. We will try to address these during the talk. We will also be sending a recording of the webinar first thing tomorrow morning, so be on the lookout for that email. And joining me this morning is really who I consider friends, but also SMEs of the Salesforce Marketing Cloud platform. We have MVPs, we have marketing champions. And before we get started, I would love for each of you just to go around the room and give a very brief introduction. So we will start first in order of the slides. So Corinna, if you want to kick things off.
Darn it, I knew you were going to do the slide order. So hi everyone, I'm Corinna Cohen. I am the Marketing Cloud developer and platform admin for Famous Footwear and Caleres, which is a portfolio of 11 other shoe brands.
Jenna?
Oh, it's my turn, huh? Hi, I'm Jenna Madsen. I am a senior Salesforce Marketing Cloud engineer at DEG, working on a whole portfolio of brands with my cohorts here.
Susanna?
Yeah, so it's my turn. Hi, my name is Susanna. I am a Marketing Cloud Solution Architect at Capgemini. I'm also a Salesforce MVP and the author of the sfmarketing.cloud blog.
Hi, my name is Marcus. I'm working as a cross-cloud architect and consultant at a Salesforce Platinum partner based in Germany, but I live in Austria. And I'm also writing a Marketing Cloud blog at marcus.codes.
Hi, I'm Jason Crookley, application engineer for the Salesforce Marketing Cloud here at the Co-op in the UK, and one of the ops guys on the howtosfmc.com blog.
Hey, I'm Greg Gifford, Salesforce MVP. I am the author of Gortonian.com. We also, me, Jenna, Jason, and Tony on the call have all been founders for a new blog called howtosfmc.com. Yeah, that's pretty much. I work with Jenna and Adam at DEG.
Hello, my name is Tony Zupanzik. I'm a senior solutions consultant with Trendline Interactive. I am a marketing champion, and as Greg had mentioned, I'm one of the admins on How to SFMC.
Elliot is not here. Elliot will be in this evening's call. So Cameron?
Perfect. Hi all, my name is Cameron. I'm the head of technology for a group who does marketing cloud implementations here in Australia. I also write a blog, and I'm also a content creator for the Implementation Guru YouTube channel.
All right, thank you everyone for the introduction. I am going to stop sharing my screen if no one wants to see me. Everybody's going to be focused on you guys. All right, what a year it has been. From a release standpoint, and I know we've had a couple of discussions on some of the features that some of them are your favorites, some of them you guys have used. So let's dig in. Let's start
Gilda,
off. Yeah?
I know that man needs no introduction, but we didn't introduce Adam.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Adam!
I was going to do an Elliot impersonation, but I thought, that'd probably be bad.
I'm so sorry, Adam.
It's all right. It's okay, really. Hey, I'm Adam Spriggs. I work at DEG with a bunch of fine folks and co-author of the AmpScript guide.
Salesforce MVP too. But
now I owe you cookies, Adam. I'll send you some cookies.
no, that's okay. No big deal. No big deal.
I'm terribly sorry for that. All right, so let's dig in. From an administrative standpoint, there were some changes made to the admin panel. And I know we were just on a phone earlier, and you guys said that it really helped with, the reduction of support tickets. There were some features and functionalities, along with some of the self-service things that Salesforce updated that you guys thought really helped out. Do you guys want to dig into that a little bit? We're going to start off light, guys.
So at the admin panel,
Yeah.
I'll kick it off. I know I've said this a couple times, and Adam, please join me here because I know you've said this multiple times too, and I don't want to steal your thunder. But I really like the changes to the admin panel, especially in the integrations tab where you can go and change your scope and the permission sets for each integration individually. That's a nice capability. Being able to do it on the front end and not having to call support to get assistance is really nice.
Yeah, I think the one that comes out quite a lot in my workflow is Parameter Manager. Being able to add or remove attributes from that on the fly with just a couple of hours lead time versus raising a support ticket is a massive game changer. That's huge. And even just the on and off toggle switches for some of the email studio functionality. If you need a business unit to not be able to use HTML paste emails, boom, turn it off.
Mm-hmm.
Massively helpful.
We're not suggesting that you turn it off, though.
Right. No, I really like the direction they're going with that as a whole. They're doing a really good job at trying to give you the tools without having you dive in and actually have to dig through a lot of things to get your job done. So they're surfacing a lot of those repetitive tasks and those administrative tasks all within that panel, which is really nice.
Another great thing is that if you're new to Marketing Cloud and don't have an implementation partner or just have a small engagement with them and not a huge project, you can see which functionality you have access to, because previously it was you went to Salesforce Stack Exchange because there was something that you missed, and then you found it, you can turn that on via the support, but now you just go through the setup page and have all the toggles there to just activate the feature.
Yeah, I also love when platforms allow customers to make their own changes. I like that self-service model a lot. And speaking of self-service model, we're going to dig into our favorite feature of them all. I remember years ago being part of the pilot group for this feature, and it's come a long way. So let's dig into Journey Builder. I'm just going to rumble through some of the updates that we've spoken about: Path Optimizer, pause and resume journeys, transactional sending, behavioral triggers, find and remove a contact, and our favorite, single send. Don't all jump in at the same time, but I just want to hear from you guys what your thoughts are on all these changes that you saw happening to Journey Builder, because I'm sure all of you have used it in some sort of manner, right? So can you just dig in a little bit about and provide us your thoughts on Journey Builder?
Yeah, I'm just gonna jump in here for the behavioral triggers, because that's a great opportunity in my opinion, because you can now set it up as a self-service, because especially if you have a larger instance with a lot of business units, you had to engage Salesforce services to set up the triggers for you and know that now it's just self-service. You can set it up, and it's even great to customize it, because previously you had to engage Salesforce services for every new attribute that you added to the catalog and wanted to get pushed to Marketing Cloud via the the import file, and now everything is available via an API. So you can just fetch it using server-side JavaScript within the email. So that's a huge advantage of the new setup here.
Yeah, it's definitely made my smaller brands able to adopt abandonments a lot faster because they don't have to find a budget now to be able to engage with the services team in order to implement the file drops and whatnot. So it's made it a real game changer for some of my brands that maybe have a few thousand subscribers and normally would not get any budget or any attention. Now they can actually keep up with our bigger brands, which is great.
I like the ability to be able to pause and resume journeys now. That's really, really handy, especially whenever a mistake is made or whenever you have to like dump a journey, like Karina was saying really quickly, just to be able to pause that journey altogether and maybe resume it a little bit later on once you've tweaked it or once the situation has changed. For those emergency situations too, you know, where you don't want to be, where you want to be more sensitive about a certain subject matter or something like that. That's a really nice capability that has been added in. Can we mention a feature that we'd like to see?
Oh, definitely. But before you do that, what about Path Optimizer?
I mean, a lot of my brands have really benefited from all of the Einstein pieces that they've been adding in the last year or so. A lot of our smaller journeys where people wouldn't engage, such as a birthday journey, it's really helped us to get into the inbox at the right time versus being there first thing in the morning when everyone's being inundated with a million emails that maybe don't have an offer. We've tried speckling in a couple different offers and being able to kind of pick the content based off of some of their other engagement criteria. So we've been able to tailor the offer and then actually get it to them at a time where we believe that they're going to open it. And it's raised our engagement by 20% in some low performing journeys, which has been awesome.
Yeah, I think the simplicity of that against, you know, not using that with Path Optimizer is really powerful. You know, rather than having to build a bespoke kind of A/B testing engine that I know a few of us have had to build in the past, the support overhead for that can be quite cumbersome, but having something that is native within the platform, nice and straightforward to use, you know, is huge. And being able to test, you know, Einstein STO versus not using STO or any of the other, you know, Einstein capability without it is great.
Yeah, we're really excited to adopt the new push pieces as well that they've been unveiling in this most recent release. All of our data is finally at the point where it's built enough that we can start using it. So we're looking forward to doing that in 2021 and really building out our push program in addition to email.
I was just going to say, I remember when we were debriefing on some of these, there was a comparison made with Path Optimizer versus A/B testing. So what are your thoughts on the two?
So the A/B testing tool in Email Studio is something that I think is one of those necessary evils almost in a way, in that there's not really much option out there to replace that as a native function without building your own. I think Path Optimizer gives you an alternative now to be able to do that. Because of the fact that it will give you the option to do not just A/B, it gives you ABN, and it gives you multivariate abilities in there that you can decide and build in your own way. That being said, one thing I always recommend to everyone whenever I talk about any products is Adam created an amazing known issues page to pull in information from the Salesforce side to shine some light and make it a little bit easier to find. Always look there. I think that it gives you a good place to start when planning as well as debugging. So it's just, I wanted to give a little plug to Adam on that with not just Path Optimizer, but pretty much anything you build in that you don't already have familiarity with. That's a great place to start.
Can
and
we
it's specific
share
to the
that
Marketing
with the
Cloud
audience? Greg, perfect. Thank you, Adam.
And I think that's a really good call out with regards to Path Optimizer, because when that was first deployed, I know that I'm not the only person who was affected by it, but there was a bug, and it meant that a number of contacts got to the path optimizer step and then just stopped. They didn't have the, oh, we've done waiting now, off you go. Fortunately, that's something that you can work around. You can identify who those people are and get the email out regardless. But there was a bug at the beginning, and it got fixed very quickly. And I had conversations with the product manager on this, and yeah, they hadn't spotted it. It got fixed. Yeah, which is a great response from them, and I'm really happy with that. But we did get bitten by our first attempt to use it en masse. So yeah, definitely check out Adam's known issues list, so you're not in the same position.
Thank you, Adam, for setting up that page. I will definitely share that with our community as well as internally here at Salesforce. Jen, I think you made a comment. While all these features are great, right? But there's probably some things that you guys want to see as part of 2021 release.
Well, yeah, and this goes back to the admin panel discussion too, because this would be nice in two places, but some more transparent access to error logging, so that we can see what sort of errors are taking place, so that we don't have to call support and get those error log messages. That would be really, really nice. In Journey Builder as well. So I know it was a question that came in a little while ago from the audience about error logging in Journey Builder, about not being able to debug so easily. So if we had an error log somewhere that we could access, we could definitely troubleshoot a little bit better. That was my suggestion.
Yeah.
I would like to
On
see
top
some
of
of
that,
that
I would
journey data on the dashboard on the homepage instead of like the journey templates and whatnot. Let's get some of the health pieces instead of being up under Einstein, maybe there on the entry dashboard. Since especially now that we have single SIN and multi-SIN journeys, it's clear that we're going to be adopting Journey Builder a lot heavier in the coming years. So let's get it up on the dashboard so we can see its health without having to log in or navigate in any further.
Can we rename single SIN journeys? I'm just going to throw that out there. I'll stop now.
And Susanna, you were saying something?
Yeah, I was going to say that the journey history tab, this could also be improved in my opinion. It would be great to see where someone is at in the journey, and if for example they skipped end or there was an error within one of the activities, it would be great to be able to see that right away in the dashboard as well.
Yeah, and sorting by date would be great instead of the info bubble that says it may appear in random order.
Yeah.
But I will jump in and say that it is actually fantastic to see that journey history data being so accessible. And for all the other users on the call, it's a great takeaway. Have a look at that tab. There is so much cool data that you can always go through and interrogate, see where your customers are in that journey. One more thing to give another thumbs up to the journey build process, journey folders. How good? How good are journey folders?
Yes.
As someone who loves to build journeys, how good are folders?
Yes, I love the folders.
folders.
I want to see more adoption among my clients for the journey folders to find things easier. That's always my go-to for sure. But another thing that I absolutely love in Journey Builder that was added was the ability to actually remove the context from the journey from that panel, which is huge.
The single
just
jump,
you don't have to build you don't have to build a whole API solution around that now. You can just go in and do your thing.
All right, so see, we did Salesforce did a couple of good things.
It would be great to be able to dive straight into folders rather than just seeing all of the journeys there as well. That would be a nice one, because it's all great having folders, but if you get dropped into the everything, the value is slightly less than you'd probably want from it.
That's a good point. So this feeds into Journey Builder, a little bit into Journey Builder, because I know some of you have used this, and we're gonna go into the meat of this. One of my favorites is Cloud Pages. And I know there was a new cloud page experience that was released this year, and a couple of you dabbled into it. Some of you have not. I actually want to hear from everyone. For those that have dabbled into the new cloud page experience, what are your thoughts? What feedback do you want to share with our audience? And for those that have not, is there a reason why you have not? Are you taking baby steps into this experience? So share the good, the bad, and the
maybe
ugly.
I'll start this one. So yeah, I was really looking forward to this new Cloud Pages experience. But to be honest, I would expect to see a bit more and a bit more of different features over there. So right now it gives you the ability to copy a cloud page. It gives you the ability to sort content. So I would say that those two features are really rudimentary, and they don't need a whole new release of the new Cloud Pages experience for that. But the one of the things that actually saved a lot of time for me this year within this new Cloud Pages experience is the ability to update the SSL after it's been implemented. So in the past, we had to copy the whole cloud page and publish it with the new URL with the SSL. Now you can just update the link directly over there. So this is something that saved a lot of time for me this year.
Yeah, I reiterate everything that Susanna just said. Like it was something that I was really looking forward to. I was thinking maybe this is the beginning of, getting some Cloud Page API, some sort of great new functionality, and it really, what was released seemed almost like a complete beta test and was not really all that comprehensive and really disappointed me tremendously. Over time, it's gotten to the point where I think it's matching what was there originally with a couple little features, like Susanna said, with the copy and the sorting and all that. That's great, but like it seems like a lot of work to add a couple bells and whistles that don't really add too much. And I hate to say that, but like it really was a bit of a disappointment to me.
Yep.
I'd like to add on too that if they were going to add some of these new functionalities, it'd be nice for them to bring over some of the legacy pieces from like classic landing pages where you could have like an authenticated landing page. There's a lot of functionality that I still even have to use the classic version of landing pages instead of cloud pages because we want to be able to do something in-house, and it's faster to use one of those authenticated landing pages than create an entire solution for something that we just want certain people within our team to be able to have a login to access. And so those were the pieces that I was expecting to come out, was even some of the legacy pieces finally being rolled into cloud pages instead of just being in classic landing pages.
So you're saying to bring in elements of classic, a sprinkle of elements of classic into this new cloud page experience.
Yep.
Yeah, I want to add on again. I forgot to mention this. There's two things. One, it mentioned that it was faster. I have seen it actually running slower. And two, the major issue that I find across the board with cloud pages that was not addressed is comparing to the microsites and landing page in Classic, which when you publish them, it's usually under a minute it takes. In cloud pages, it can take 5 minutes. I've seen it take longer, and it's very disruptive to workflow. Like it's been to the point where on the majority, it's now best practice to not actually edit in Marketing Cloud, but to edit outside of it, inside of a Dropbox or Google Drive or something like that, which
or an external server.
which is not the greatest way for that to be done. Opens up a bit of security risks in different areas.
That's what I was going to say. I do like the ability to be able to update SSL certs on the fly. I've used that a couple of times, like Susanna mentioned. That's really nice. But the publishing process has gotten more cumbersome with the new cloud pages, it seems like, rather than the old. Also, the error messaging isn't as robust as I was expecting it to be. I was expecting to be able to see some more comprehensive messages instead of you have an error and some of the more generic messages that we get. And what's interesting is, like Karina was saying, you actually got more comprehensive messaging and troubleshooting messages, or error messaging, so that you could troubleshoot from out of the old microsites and the old email studio landing pages section than you do in the new cloud pages. So it would be nice to see some enhanced capabilities there. And the publishing time has gotten so long. So
the publishing time was the new cloud page experience. Okay. And we do have some questions, and we will definitely leave room to get to these questions. What about Customer 360 audiences? Did anybody use that?
It's a little pricey.
We use Audience Builder, which is the pre-Customer 360 tool.
It does look really cool, though.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, I'm anxiously awaiting the consent model implementation within Marketing Cloud, because it seems to me that has to be decoupled from what they're currently offering, and I'm expecting that in 2021. But I don't really have any inside information about it. But that was the one part of consent auditing, is the one part of the Customer 360 audiences that I was looking forward to the most. Aside from a different, faster access to activity data in the platform, those were the two things I was looking forward to, and the price point and the lift to get it stood up for a client seems to be like a huge barrier. And there's an eternal question about where is the data living, and clients that have a lot of data, where should it go? Moving that data around is a hard decision, and for a lot of clients, and putting it somewhere else, we can't just like add it onto the contract and start doing it. It's usually a larger conversation than that. And
oh yeah, it would take us months to migrate all of our data.
Yeah,
being brand side, we've got millions and millions of subscribers, and then all of their data that goes with them. I mean,
they've got to make a case for people pulling up stakes and moving their data somewhere else, and that I haven't seen that kind of communication to justify it, because not only is it super expensive, but they're not talking about the benefits of having it all under one umbrella, and those things, the benefits in my mind are
huge.
Yeah, an audience builder wasn't cheap to implement, so why would we move to another expensive audience building tool when we've already dumped tons of money into their first audience build tool? So yeah, that's why, being brand side, we haven't.
So the name of the game to me, the future is we need to be able to audit every message from every subscriber and delete them at any moment, and all of that is a heroic effort right now in Marketing Cloud, despite what Salesforce says. And if the tools aren't available to do that, where are they? It's like that's what I was expecting from the 360 audiences, and maybe that's coming, but I think the consent, having a good consent model implementation that's free for all in Marketing Cloud would be a huge thing for anybody that's dealing with a lot of requests from clients for CCPA compliance, all of the other European requirements as well, and the Canada ones. So it's just in California coming more, all the legislation that's coming down the pike. Seems like an important thing to me that they would just roll out. But
yeah, it seems a little bit inaccessible right now because of the pricing model. So, and I, excuse me, I've been unfortunate. I've not had the opportunity to play with it yet, just because none of our clients have purchased it yet. They use Audience Builder or a system that we built for them in order to do their advanced segmentation and contact deletes and things like that. So.
Yeah, the barrier to adoption is quite significant for anyone who is already in the Marketing Cloud. If you're going to try and get someone, they're going to have to be new to the Marketing Cloud. I think it's probably going to be the easiest way to get it live with anyone. But yeah, changing whole sets of workflows to bring on a new product is huge, especially for compliance things that have got to go through so many legal checks. It's a real barrier to adoption.
Yeah. What about distributed marketing? Did any of you dabble in that feature? I know there's QuickSend for SMS, and there are a couple of other enhancements. I mean, it's not a new feature, but there are some changes made to it. Did any of you test those out?
Actually have had a customer who was using the distributed marketing, and it worked out quite well. A lot more user-friendly and a lot more functions were brought to the surface of that tool as opposed to being hidden away. So definitely some improvements there, and it was great to see that come through, especially for those users who were dabbling at the possibility of using it, had the MC Connect and were considering turning on distributed marketing. So great to see it improved, but I haven't really tested it on the open highway. It's good to see it become more user-friendly, but I haven't really road tested it fully just yet.
Well, I am looking forward to when you guys are able to do a little bit more digging into that. So what I'd love to do now is we're getting some really good questions, and I want to dig into some of these questions real quick, and then I would love to get everyone's thoughts on what are some of the, from looking at the platform as a whole, what are some of the things you're hoping, what are some of the updates you're hoping will happen in 2021? Oh, wow, Tony, this one's for you. Tony, we had 60,000 contacts well, Tony and anybody who wants to jump in. We had 60,000 contacts enter a contact update activity in Journey Builder, and less than 300 of those contacts were actually updated in the DE mapped to the contact update activity. Plan to create a case ticket, but wondered if there are known issues around it.
I'm going to throw that to the king of known issues. Adam, do you know any issues around that? You've got the platform for it.
I would imagine it has something to do with the subscribers not being in the contact model when the contact update has to go is executed. So I checked to see if those subscribers actually exist before they hit the contact option. But yeah, there's way too many known issues for me to keep on top of. And by the way, thanks, Greg, for the plug on that. If you want to see a real-time stream of the known issues, you can subscribe to the RSS feed, that OPML file that's linked at the top of that page. You can add it to your favorite RSS reader and get notified when they are posted by the teams at Salesforce. So.
Yeah,
Thank you for that,
much,
Adam.
Leads to that answer. Thank you, Adam.
I will actually jump in there for the asker as well. We had another question on a similar topic about the contact update activity in Journey Builder not working great for some contacts. There is a known issue when it comes to updating contacts in a one-to-many data extension. If that contact exists multiple times in a data extension, so perhaps it's a birthday journey, and perhaps it's the second year running for birthday journey, it will update both records. It matches on subscriber key, which can be really prohibitive for your multi-entry journeys such as birthdays. For welcomes, not a problem, but for birthdays or thank you for your purchase, and if you're trying to do an update to update the send time or perhaps the path the customer went down on that journey, it's going to update every single row that subscriber key is found in that DE, which can be super prohibitive. So just be aware of that little gotcha when you build your data extensions for your journeys. You may want to look at storing your records day on day, doing an append function into a separate DE to log those records, which means you have that record kept and locked away so that when your Journey Builder goes and does those updates, you won't lose all that amazing data from previous Journey runs.
Always keep a journey log.
Always.
Yeah.
Logs.
gonna add to that. Because Journey Builder always takes the contact key, so you should be aware of that. Even if you do decision splits, for example, which is also true if you're checking data from Sales Cloud, even if you have a Sales Cloud entry event, so you have the ID of the specific record that you want to check. It's also the lookup via the contact key. So you always have to take a measure for that. So if there's multiple records, you need to select them and put a separate data extension to the data model. So that's always an issue here.
To Cameron's point, I have a thing on a post on my blog about journey logging, and one of the guys on my team here at DG came up with this, and it does address that issue that Cam mentioned about updating all the records. It does not, the update contact does not respect primary keys, so it's always going to be by subscriber key. So anything that matches, it's going to update it. But the key thing with the Journey Builder logging is that you, in the system that I have that's supported by an automation that's running every hour, is that you have to have at least an hour wait between your steps. And so there's a timing risk with it, but it is most effective for most of the cases we need to use for journeys that we need to trace somebody all the way through. And we use it for chaining journeys together. A lot of times, if you can know somebody is in a journey or has been through a journey in another journey, having that data set is really handy to, illuminate. It's kind of like send logging. Some of the same scenarios you might use send logging for, you can use a journey log scheme to kind of hook everything together, which is kind of nice.
Adam, can you share that link? Someone's asking for it.
Right. I was
Sure.
just going to say you guys have provided some great information on Journey Builder. We're getting some comments on documentation and where do they go from here? Does anybody have videos or documents that they can share with our audience on this? I know Cameron,
go
you
to
said some great stuff. Adam.
howtosfmc.com and you can see all the past technical marketers meetups where we've done deep dives into different aspects of Journey Builder and other parts of the application, as well as all the lookup answers are hosted on there. And everybody you see on this call is a contributor there. So you will find articles and mentions and links out to their personal sites on howtosfmc.com. So you can go there for additional resources beyond what's available in the documentation.
Maybe I'll throw this one at Susanna and Corinna. What's the benefit of using single send journey instead of email send?
It's a great gateway into Journey.
I mean, really, there's back-end platform enhancements that they've done. And then other than that, I mean, we use it when we want to incorporate send time optimization. But really, they're both batch sends. So they're not that different. I have a feeling that, as I was saying earlier, they're going to continue to build out those features so that eventually Journey Builder will probably be Email Studio. And they will be one and the same. So if you haven't looked at it yet, you might want to start looking, because I have a feeling that one is about to eat the other.
Yeah, and another thing that is a small benefit is if you send just from Email Studio batch email, you have to make sure that you use a Salesforce data extension in case you want to send over the tracking to Sales Cloud. But with Journey Builder, as long as you're using the Salesforce IDs for your records for the subscriber key, it's automatically synced. So that's a benefit, definitely.
I want to give a benefit the other way around too. Give pros and cons. So the throughput on Journey Builder single sends does not match the same batch output that Email Studio user initiated sends or just the scheduled sends there will meet. So if you're looking at a large volume of emails, expect the delay in send time to be much more significant if you do a single send journey compared to the batch sends inside of Email Studio.
Thank you.
Especially
So I'm
on
more clear
volume.
as to why we only use it for send time optimization and not for every send. But
Yeah, especially on volume. If you're sending a large scale broadcast, you probably want to keep it in Email Studio for the time being.
To pick up there, I've had the same thing. I think that the guided sends might be going away soon, or not getting as much more love and features. And that single sends Journey Builder will be the new place to go to have all your cool trackings and things automatically added. So right now,
It will, but
practically
guided sends
not
anyway.
hit.
They've been passé for a couple of
Oh, ways
years
to
anyway,
go.
right? With the user initiated sends. I mean, you should really, you know,
Well, even just
keep
looking
a
at like platforms, one looks like Lightning and one looks like Exact Target. So, I mean, which one are they going to go with?
yeah.
Do you want the one I really think, or do you want the one I wish?
No comment. We have another good question. This is all my AMP script geniuses here. Let's suppose we have multiple cloud pages and each one's using heavy AMP script /JS. And some point these pages are breaking due to product releases. Do we have any mechanism where we can send a notification to the team these forms are breaking, and can they remove any future disaster?
Product releases are breaking your AMP script.
Has that ever happened to anybody here?
No,
I don't think that. Yeah, I don't think a
probably the
release could break the AMP script or the SSJS on a cloud page. I think that's very unlikely.
I would look to your AMP script and SSJS and start troubleshooting from there.
I mean, yeah, if you start getting a sudden influx of errors, if you include some try-catch and just have a data extension populated with your errors, then you might be able to see, oh, suddenly after release, I've had, a 200% increase in errors on my cloud pages. Then that might point you in the right direction, but it's not likely there's going to be any significant changes to the way AMP script or server-side JavaScript are running that's going to break anything.
Yeah, I mean,
Navdeep, I don't know if you're still on the call, but I was going to say, I think the How to SFMC team, you guys have an inbox, correct?
We do. It's howtosfmc@gmail.com.
Yeah, do you just want to put it there in the entire audience? So Navdeep, if you do run into this, if you just send a message to the How to SFMC team with a screenshot.
Yeah, and then if there's also further questions about debugging, like server-side JavaScript, for example, there's I know there's an article up on How to SFMC specifically
Greg's
for
favorite topic,
debugging server-side JavaScript. And I think, Greg, remind me if I'm not mistaken, you have similar articles up on your blog as well, correct?
I don't know if it's full on. I think I have one talking about the catches of try-catch, but I don't think I have specific to debugging. But I know there's a lot of sites out there that do have really good articles, as well as Tony's that he mentioned. I do want to touch on the release thing. That is one thing that Salesforce Marketing Cloud is hugely cognizant of, is that they make sure that any changes they do not break current functionality. That is a huge thing to them, and I fully appreciate that. So that's why we're fairly confident that the release is probably not going to be the issue for your errors.
Every now and then they might have a problem with a stack in particular, but that's not likely to break your AMP script or server-side JavaScript. Once again, it's more likely to break one of your backend processes that are moving, like your journeys along or Automation Studio along or something like that you have no control of as a user.
One thing I'd like to say about cloud pages in general is, and this comes up on Stack Exchange a lot, is the main thing that you need to realize about server-side JavaScript and AMP script is that it is evaluated and compiled before you actually see anything on the page. So when you say JavaScript, it's not the same as client-side JavaScript. And so a lot of times there's a weird mixture of understandings related to client-side versus server-side. And Jenna and I were just talking about this yesterday. Think of AMP script and server-side JavaScript like you would PHP, because PHP is a server language, and server-side JavaScript is like that. All of the stuff is evaluated and everything before the page is displayed. So
Same as
a lot of times
AmpScript.
that helps. Same as AmpScript. So that really do your debugging with that in mind. It's kind of a good place to start.
All right, I want to take this question and then I'm going to get your thoughts on things that you'd like to see. So we'll take one or two more questions. Zuzana, this one is, I'm going to throw it at you because I know you're very passionate about this. This is from Marie. In the case of integration with MC Connect to be able to use FDC contact in a journey, what is the recommended approach? Synchronizing Salesforce data in a data extension or using Salesforce data entry? What are the pros and cons? And everyone else, feel free to jump in. I know, Zana, you and I have spoken about MC Connect, and it's something that's near and dear to you.
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess it depends on the use case. If you're just looking to do batch sense, then I think the best way to go is to use synchronized data extensions, and then, for example, use the single send journey. Whenever you want to create like an ongoing campaign, let's say a welcome journey, then I think it's best to use a Salesforce campaign and just keep adding new contacts to that campaign. And the Salesforce data entry event is best for automated emails that should be triggered by some data changes that happen in Salesforce. So for example, someone opts in for a newsletter, there's a flag changing in Salesforce, and you want to send them a double opt-in email. That's the ideal use case for that. So basically anything that has to do with ongoing campaigns and being able to react based on the trigger, I would go with Salesforce entry event. And anything that has to do with batch or regular automated sends, I would go with data extensions.
Yeah, I totally agree to everything Susanna just said. So the main difference is something that's triggered for the data events, and keep in mind that you shouldn't update a large volume of customers for just to use that kind of entry event, because it would break then because of limits in Sales Cloud. And if you have other questions in regards to Marketing Cloud Connect, Susanna and I did a LookupAnswers session that you can also review the recording, and there was a lot of questions similar to that one, and there's also a slide that answers all the questions that we didn't get to. So that's a great reference for everything related to Marketing Cloud Connect.
Thank you both. One more question. I'm going to squeeze this one in because I'm actually interested in hearing the answer from you guys. What are your recommendations for backing up cloud page code and content assets in the most automated way possible, and recommended path for rolling back, aka updating with repo code and backed up assets? Ooh.
External repos are wonderful things.
Yeah.
Greg, I saw a look.
This is where those cloud page APIs would come in so handy.
Yes.
Like that's the main issue. Like the only way that I found to work around it is to have a content block be referenced in the cloud page and then use the content block to hold all of your content. The issue is content blocks have different pre-processing on them. So for instance, sometimes JavaScript will just get completely scripted out on it and things like that. So it's really difficult to easily set something up. Like there's a lot of different nuances on every single approach. To get it automated, it really is a lot of duct tape and bubble gum. But the simpler option is to do, like Jenna was saying, have a repo and just manually push it live. Like
we back up everything on an
one.
external repo. It's just it'll save your life, you know. And until Marketing Cloud gets that a repository type structure built in, just have
there's unfortunately no good answer to this, and it's something that I've been trying to wrap my head around and trying to get, this type of a solution figured out. But like Greg and Jenna said, work off of an external Git repo and just be really diligent about where you update your code and when you update things, and having separate development environments definitely helps that out, or at least development assets, as you're working on things.
Yeah, I recently
it's the first thing I teach. You get Marcus.
Yeah, go on. I recently did a session about optimizing the development in Marketing Cloud, and that's something that's also covered there. So you can check that out on my blog. There's also links to version control systems that you can use. And if you're just doing content blocks within Content Builder, there's a great solution to integrate it in your workflow, because if you use Visual Studio Code, there is a plugin that directly plugs into the Marketing Cloud API. So you can edit content blocks that are present in your instance, check it in your version control, upload it to your repository, and then push the uploads directly to Marketing Cloud, to Content Builder. So as soon as there is an API for Cloud Pages, I think that's something that will be added to the plugin as well. So that's something to have a look at, I guess.
Props to Salesforce for the asset endpoint for REST. That's one of the most mature REST endpoints, in my opinion, of the web services. It does bode well for doing integrations with content blocks, like Marcus suggested. We at DEG, we've done various integrations that automate creation of content blocks, and that is one sweet endpoint. It's really powerful to do a lot of automation type stuff outside of the platform in terms of integration. So
thank you for that, guys. I did want to find out from you guys, what are some of the features that you are looking forward to, or improvements you're looking forward to 2021. And then Jenna, I'm going to throw it back at you to close it out. We've gotten some amazing questions. We're not going to get to all of them, but I do know that the How to SFMC team, you guys do a 1-hour How to SFMC chat on all things Marketing Cloud. And I'm thinking this would be a great opportunity to maybe digest some of these questions that we did not answer. So before we close out, what are your thoughts on 2021, guys? What are some of the features you're looking forward to seeing enhanced? And then Jenna, can you close it out with some How to SFMC upcoming sessions?
Absolutely. Enhancements. Oh God, I talked. I don't want to go first. Someone else think about something.
I can go first, because I have one thing that I've been looking forward to for a long time. It's the Cloud Pages API, and I think many of you mentioned it already today. So this is something that I really feel that could speed up my work.
Yeah, I'm going to second that. It's going to be a huge surprise, all three that I say. It's Cloud Pages API, get server-side JavaScript up to date, because it's I think on ECMA 3, which was still in the 1990s. I think we've gotten a little beyond that. So there's needs to be a lot of work there to get that up to a point that I feel it remains as relevant as it should, because it's a very strong language and it's not as utilized as it should be. And then lastly, a REST WS proxy would be amazing.
Yeah, that would be great.
The REST
I think
proxy.
everything that Greg said, and I'd like to continue seeing more around the self-service admin stuff, which I think we're going to get. I think that's going to be a really strong focus for Salesforce as far as Marketing Cloud is concerned, of putting, all of those tasks at our fingertips, basically, which will be a huge help.
Yeah, I'd love to have everything that everyone else mentioned. And the self-service shouldn't only be for the admins, because the features that we've seen with behavioral triggers, for example, that's something that really helps smaller customers also get going with Marketing Cloud pretty fast, because there's not so much that they have to put money in to have external services do them. And yeah, it's just also the visibility in the interface that they see what they can do. So that would be great to have a lot of other features added to that.
Yeah, I think the other thing go ahead, Ken.
I think one thing, particularly for some of my customers here down under, is that we don't have any local servers. So data residency for me would be a lovely surprise for 2021, having some servers that aren't too far away from us, which also means some of our public sector and healthcare and insurance and other industries and verticals can start to use, they don't have to use tokenized sending and other encryptions to protect their user data for residency laws. So something local would be nice.
I think the last one I'll add in there is error logging. So more transparent errors when you're trying to develop things and troubleshoot and debug things.
Yeah, I have one more on top of that. That's probably just me specifically for brand side with a lot of our use cases. Is I noticed with the recent Einstein updates that they took away a lot of my data. And now it's only available through the UI, and a lot of my data extensions that I was using to pull data and do some segmenting and whatnot is gone. So I'd like my data back, please.
Yeah, I completely am on board with that. And, anything that makes it easy to get our data is 100% the right thing for Salesforce to be doing.
And Adam?
I think we need better documentation around the push notifications and the SMS messaging, especially when it comes to the backend data views and what's available to developers and analysts to be able to review.
Adam, did you want to add anything?
Yeah, so my main pain points for the most of 2020 have been data volume scale issues. I joke that in my role, 60 to 70% is data laundering, and one of the most amazing things about Marketing Cloud is that you have access to all the activity data, and it's also one of the worst things because once you start sending at a high volume, it's really unwieldy, and you have to resort to desperate measures to aggregate it yourself or find a look back or create a look back that is relevant to your business model and your needs for your product lifecycle or whatever. Whatever Marketing Cloud Salesforce can do to create a way for us to have more than 6 months of data available to us in a timely fashion, whether that's with the API for a single subscriber or for an aggregate in some way that is visible. That's the number one thing for me. The 30-minute timeout window is my nemesis. I found that I found a lot of workarounds. Obviously, we know how to deal with it, but it's just biting. It's just buying time. It's not a good long-term solution. And the consent model is something that I mentioned earlier. I want to be able to audit. We need to be able to audit and control what information we have about subscribers. And it seems like that's a really important thing. And I would love to see Salesforce do something serious about that in 2021.
And Carrie Nasson just mentioned something that I agree with 100%, and this needs to be put in there, especially now that we have the ability to pause journeys. If we have the ability to inject a customer into a journey at a certain position, so customer injection into a journey would be a very nice thing, rather than having to try to query them and inject them into using other means. So
I agree with all of you. I think you guys.
Thank you, Carrie.
And I will definitely take all of your feedback to heart and share that with some of the folks internally. Before we close out, I'm gonna hand the torch over to Jenna, but I personally wanted to thank each and every one of you. For those that are still on the call, if you're wondering, who do I follow? I have questions, I need answers. You're looking at them. These are some of my close and personal friends, but they're also the ones that are out there on Stack Exchange, Slack, How to SFMC. They're writing thought leadership pieces, doing webinars, videos. They're on YouTube, LinkedIn. Please be sure to follow them on LinkedIn and Twitter. I will update my page so that you have their Twitter and LinkedIn information. You guys are amazing. Thank you for carving time out of your busy day to do this session. We also have an evening session, so please tell your friends, coworkers, colleagues, etc. 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. You will find us here. So if you didn't get your question answered, maybe it'll get answered live this evening. Jenna, do you want to close out what some of the upcoming stuff that How to SFMC team is doing for the rest of the year or the start of the new year?
So for the rest of the year, we do have a couple meetups going on. Wake up, everyone. But yeah, we have a couple of meetups going on. One is next Wednesday. We do these every other week. We do one in the if you're in the Americas here, not in Cam's time, we do one in the daytime, and that is at 1 p.m. Eastern, and that is not coming up next. That's coming up. I don't have a calendar in front of me. That's not the next one. The next one is actually the one we do on Cam's time, and that will be on the 16th, and that is done at. If you're in the eastern part of the United States, it's done at 9 p.m. at night, and we have you can go and register to join us on those meetups and get an invite to both of them on the howtosfmc.com homepage. Just look for the
thank you
little
for so much, because it is 2 a.m. my time here down under. So I always thank you so much for making those sessions for everyone to join in daylight times for us down under.
Well, we're happy to be able to cover the whole world and allow the SFMC community to come together and talk and discuss these things like we had a discussion here. Those are very our discussion here today is very much like what happens on those How to SFMC meetups. So please join us there. And we also have a little, we're going to be doing a social series called the 12 Days of Scriptmas coming up. So look for that coming out. Starting up next week, and we'll be showing you some of our favorite tricks and techniques around SSJS, AmpScript, and SQL. So look for that in the upcoming weeks, and then next year we are going to have a SSJS challenge come out first of the year, where we're going to ask people to, that was similar to the Baby Shark challenge, where we're going to ask people to script a song or some lyrics to a song using SSJS. So all fun things happening in the How to SFMC world. Please join us there. And also I want to mention that most of the people on this call have their own individual blogs that I personally use as resources. So go look them up individually as well. So.
Yeah, I was going to say that. So follow-up email will go out tomorrow, because I know a couple of you tried to access Adams. I know, Marcus, you mentioned a couple of things that you and Susanna, all of you are doing some amazing things in the community. So there will be a follow-up email going out tomorrow morning, and I will be sure to get all the links that were mentioned in here and all the upcoming sessions. So be on the lookout for that follow-up email. Thank you guys. You guys were amazing. I had a good time, and I would love to do this again next year, and hopefully some of the stuff that you all want to see in 2021, your dreams do come true. That's what we're about.
And thank you for facilitating, Gilda.
Yeah, thank you, Gilda.
Thank you so much, Gilda.
Thank you so much.
All right, see you guys later this evening.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.